turn back the clock a little bit. You are in that stage where you knew you needed to do a pull up. You probably couldn't do it. You knew you needed it. Can you speak to like the listeners that are maybe tuning in for the first time to our episode, our show, and they're in that moment right now? They need to do that pull up. Let's say his name is Kyle. Speak to Kyle right now. Tell Kyle how to get started. Like where should Kyle start?
I'm going to speak to Kyle. I'm going to do it kindly and not the way that Cartman would probably speak to Kyle.
I
So
like the
pretty
idea of
much
Cartman being a fitness instructor, by the way. That's
an episode where Cartman gets in shape and shits on anyone who's fat going forward. That'd be hilarious. And then at the end, he relapses and just gets super fat, fatter than he's ever been.
this is for you, Kyle.
All right, Kyle. So what you have to do is the thing is you want to sit here and you want to do 10 pull-ups and you want broad shoulders and you want to be jacked right off the bat, but it just doesn't work that way, right? So the biggest thing for me that was able to make me kind of hit the goal in an incremental way, right? You need to put goalposts along the way. So yes, I wanted to be able to do many pull-ups, but if I couldn't even do one yet, you have to start there. So what's the path to get to one pull-up? Well, there's a bunch of strength training exercises you could do to strengthen your shoulders and your lats and the muscles that are involved in that. But what you could do is also just grab that pull-up bar and try to do that one pull-up, knowing and not discouraging yourself that you're not going to be able to do it, but knowing that if you show up every day that week and you try to do that one pull-up, by the end of the second or third week, you're going to be able to do a pull-up, and one good clean one with great form. And from there, you'll get 2 and 3. And before you know it, you can do 3 sets of 12, no problem. To get into specifically on the pull-up and doing one, you could do a static hold, which is pretty much holding halfway as if you got the pull-up done, or jump into it and then hold yourself there for as long as you can. And that'll just build the strength in the muscle. But just like anything, it takes practice and consistency over time. So you're not just going to get it on day one. The problem with most people is they set their goal. It's like, oh, if I can't do 10 push-ups or 10 pull-ups off the bat, what's the point? It's like, well, that's not how it works. You need to start somewhere. So make the goal 1 push-up, 1 pull-up, keep working until you get there. And just understanding that it's a slow process. It's about the things that you do consistently and not about just showing up and like doing it for 3 hours. Like a lot of guys think like, oh, I'm just going to hit the gym like for 3 hours today. And it's like, that's going to get me where I need to get. It's really not, because at the end of the day, I think like one of my favorite quotes is Aristotle. It's like, we are what we repeatedly do. So excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. So you have to make it a habit, really. So it's just understanding you're not going to get there overnight and making a plan to achieve goals incrementally. Before you know it, you'll be able to do a pull-up, then you'll be able to do a lot of them. And before you know it, your back will be shredded and you'll be like, oh shit, look at me. Like